All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Star Wars fans, I hope y'all having a nice weekend, a Memorial Day weekend. I know I did. I hope you enjoy my Ryan Clark versus Robert Griffin III video. I know people disagree with me vividly, and that's fine. But as long as there's no personal attacks on me, everything's all good in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So without further ado, let's move on from that video. Let's get down to business with Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I remember the first time I seen this movie, it was here in North Carolina. My family and I was stationed in South Carolina years ago. It was early mid 2000s, and it was the very first Star Wars film I've ever watched. It wasn't the original trilogy at all. In fact, I had never watched Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones at the time. It was strictly Revenge of the Sith, and wow, just wow. Before I get to my actual thoughts on it, let me read you something from wikipedia.org. And it's also known as Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. It's a 2005 American epic space opera film that was a sequel to The Phantom Menace, 1999, and 2002's Attack of the Clones. It is the sixth film of the Star Wars film series, the third installment of the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and the third chronological chapter of the Skywalker saga. It was written and directed by George Lucas, who also served as an executive producer, the film star, so I won't bore you all to death, I promise you. The Revenge of the Sith is set 3 years after the onset of the Clone Wars, established in the Attack of the Clones, which decrypts the rise of Darth Sidious, spoilers, and the Galactic Empire, as well as Anakin Skywalker turning to the dark side of the Force, Darth Vader, spoilers, again, which it will have the wide-range consequences in the galaxy that led to the extermination of the Jedi. Execute Order 66. If you are a Star Wars fan, you know what I'm talking about. So, and the third film of the Star Wars franchise, the prequel trilogy, which is The Revenge of the Sith, premiered on May 16, 2005 at the Cannes Film Festival, theatrically released in the United States on May 19th. The film received mostly positive reviews from critics, praised the mature themes, darker turn, emotional depth, soundtrack, and action sequences, although some criticism was reserved towards Lucas' screenplay, some of the dialogue, pacing of Anakin's arc, and many considered it to be the best installment of the trilogy. It broke several box office records during its opening week, and it earned $850 million worldwide during its initial run, making it the second highest grossing film in the Star Wars franchise at the time. It was the highest grossing film in the US and the second highest grossing film worldwide in 2005. It also holds the records for the highest opening day gross on a Thursday at $50 million. It was the last Star Wars film distributed by 20th Century Fox, although the company and by extension the film was required by Disney several years after it required Lucasfilm. So the running time, well, it says 140 minutes. It felt like it was like 3.5 hours, give or take. And the budget of the film was $113 million. The box office was $905.6 million. Man, it raked in a lot of money, I'm telling you. So the positives, which is the greatness, stinkiness, and what in the world did you do, George Lucas, which is good and bad and ugly. Let me get the bad and the ugly out the way because I don't want to spend 10 minutes on it. Now, I didn't like the romance between Anakin and Padme. It came off as it was forced to the point of cringeworthy. Same way with the in the second film, which is the Attack of the Clones. But I like the fact that they had a little venture, which was a lot better than what we saw in the Revenge of the Sith, which is the third film. But I understand why. And Padme, I just felt like she was super dense. She didn't know what was going on when it came to her husband, Anakin. And then you saw what happened when she went on to that planet Mustafar, where Obi-Wan and Anakin, or Lord Vader, had that epic duel. And she went from dense to shockingly heartbroken and being choked out by her husband. And I'm like, you should have saw the signs. You should have saw the signs, lady, and you didn't. That's the part that drove me nuts. So, yeah, I can't say too much about the negatives of this film because I love it so much. much. It was like the very small things that irritated me. So yeah, the positives are the greatness. I mean, I love the cast, the soundtrack, the darker tone, emotional depth, the mature themes. I mean, the location of the planets was beautiful. I mean, I keep going back to Planet Mustafar. It was almost as if it was like the final duel between a master versus a student. And the fact that Anakin Skywalker turned to the dark side so quick by Darth Sidious, it was just crazy. And he said that he was the chosen one. He was supposed to destroy the Sith so that the Galactic Empire don't rise, not join them, not be the Empire. You know, bring balance to the Force. So, I mean, the duel was just phenomenal, especially with Anakin versus Obi-Wan. The thing that my brother Retro did not like the most in that film, he loves it, but the one thing he did not like is when Anakin Skywalker or the Lord Vader was all beat up and all his limbs was completely destroyed by Obi-Wan. You underestimate my power. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. And we saw what happened, where he catches on fire. The rest is history. My brother did not like seeing Anakin being burnt to a crisp while yelling. That's where he had lung damage. So, I mean, it's a PG-13 for crying out loud, man. I'm like, is this legal? So I know that there's soccer moms out there. How dare them they showed this scene? This is dramatizing. It's called PG-13. It could be worse. It could be rated R, you know? So yeah, the Execute Order 66, that was the one I was just like, wait, what is, I'm like, each and every Jedi is being deleted, being killed off. I'm like, what is going on? Are you serious? They're going to try to get Obi-Wan and Yoda? Now, mind you, this is the first time I actually watched the film of Star Wars franchise. Okay, so I had no idea what was going on, and mind you, I knew who Anakin Skywalker was before I watched the film. I'm like, wait a minute, who's this guy? Is he Darth Vader? And I watched the film. I'm like, oh snap, it is him. So, but then again, you can blame the trailer because it was shown on TV as well. They give a little bit of a spoiler alert. So, like I said, Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith is my favorite, if not the best Star Wars film I ever watched. The best Star Wars film of all time for the fact that all the things I just mentioned, including the one on wikipedia.org. And it felt like the good guys lost for the first time and the bad guys won, you know what I mean? And then like, okay, now we're gonna see what the good guys, from the Jedi to now the rebellion, we're gonna see what they can do. Let's see if they can bounce back from this loss, this Order 66, extermination of the Jedi. So while the Galactic Empire just ruled the entire galaxy with an iron fist, just doing their thing, I love everything. I love everything about that film except for a small thing. So yeah, without further ado, I'm done with this video. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. And what's your thoughts on the Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith?